basically, I was going to give a little overview of what I was going to talk about, but we'll get there. The important thing that you need to know, Feeding Wisconsin, we are the statewide association of the 6 Feeding America food banks that provide food to all 72 counties of the state. One of our members is Feed My People here in West Central Wisconsin. You all serve 14 counties in this area, which is amazing. But we have 5 other sister food banks that provide food to counties throughout the state. Our largest member, as you'll see in that third slide over there, the green on the far eastern part of the state is Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. They service on 33 counties, up and down the eastern seaboard and into central Wisconsin. The second part of southern Wisconsin is the red chunk, sort of at the south center part. They're located in Madison. They service about 16 counties in southern Wisconsin. You all are the orange segment in the west central part, and then we have 3 food banks in Minnesota that provide food to the 4 northernmost counties, the 4 westernmost counties, and our food bank in Rochester provides food to La Crosse County. So that's our total footprint. That's our total membership. And when you look at us, right, we are 6 food banks, 1 state office, which is me, basically me and 3 folks who run our food share outreach program. Together we provide food, emergency food, to about 1,000 local food pantries throughout the state, located in every single county of the state. And together we provide 50 million meals through the work that you do in local communities every day, which is really, really exciting. Our vision, the Feeding Wisconsin vision, is a healthy and hunger-free Wisconsin. Now, follow there we go. I think we're on slide 4. Our vision is a healthy and hunger-free Wisconsin, and we aim to achieve that by doing 3 things. First is to feed, is to help our food banks feed more people, right? So increasing the amount of food, increasing the throughput of the food, increasing the quality of the food. Our second strategic pillar is to lead, and that is basically through policy and advocacy work. So I'm at the Capitol quite a bit, I'm in DC quite a bit, talking to our elected officials about the public policies that affect your clients. And then the third area of work is to strengthen. And so when we talk about strengthening, it's basically strengthening our food bank's ability to provide food to you and working with them to help you strengthen your processes. So together we believe that by doing these 3 things excellently, we can achieve a healthy and hunger-free Wisconsin in about a decade's time. And I'll show you a little bit how we're going to do that later. Next slide, please. We have a strategic focus on hunger and health. I'm sure you all have probably been hearing a lot about this from Emily. The people who are coming through our lines suffer from health conditions at a higher rate than people who don't, who aren't food insecure. And being food insecure has some real consequences to society, right? Poor health outcomes can keep people out of the workforce, and keep people out of school, thus raising costs, reducing work productivity, reducing kids' ability to learn, right? I think one of the most devastating things is that hungry children don't learn at a rate of kids who are fed and nourished, and that is an investment that we won't see come to fruition for 18 years, right? So keeping kids well fed is absolutely an important goal of ours. 34% of folks report, 34% of households report 1 person with diabetes, about 53% report a member with high blood pressure, 64% choose between medical care and food, about 60% have unpaid medical bills, about 82% report making unhealthy food choices to make ends meet, cheap unhealthy food to make ends meet. So taking all of that in, our ability to source and distribute fresh, healthy food is really important, right? Because if people are making choices that are suboptimal for their health outcomes, it feels like it's our responsibility to be able to have more healthy food and more healthy options for them to choose at the food pantry level. Next slide, please. This might have some animation, so if you can just get through to the bottom, we can just take care of all of them together. So hunger in Wisconsin. One more. There we go. Throughout the state, about 700,000 people are food insecure, right? So that means they are at risk of hunger at some point during the year. About 700,000 people are also on the food stamp program. That's actually pretty good considering where we've been over the last few years, where we were about 800,000 people. So due to a mixture of things, some state policies and also some improvement in the local economy, people are beginning to graduate out of the program. So that's positive. About 250,000 kids are food insecure throughout the state. We serve about 68,000 people a week, and over the course of the year, about 600,000 people. As I mentioned, we provide 50 million meals every year, and yet there is, according to our research, about a 121 million meal gap, which means that there lacks the resources in our state for people to purchase about 121 million meals, which is a lot of meals. But later on, I'm going to show you how we're going to close that in 10 years. And we're now saying that hunger has a health cost. According to some work done out of Brandeis and Harvard, in Wisconsin, the social cost of hunger is about $2.6 billion. So that is associated with poor health outcomes, missing work, missing school, missing being sick, not learning in school, long-term health outcomes. $2.6 billion. Next slide, please. So regarding that 121 million meal gap, I think there's a feeling sometimes that hunger is only an urban issue, right? It only exists in Milwaukee and Madison and not anywhere else. But I think, as you all know, it's present everywhere, even in rural communities. And when we took a deeper look at the 121 million meal gap, what we learned was that about 64 million of those missing meals are in urban metro areas. So Milwaukee, Madison, and some of the larger cities in our state. About a 12% food insecurity rate and about 380,000 people. Numbers, pure numbers. And yet, when you combine the small cities and towns, so places like Beloit, some of the smaller cities and towns in our state, and the rural areas, it's about the same, right? About 11% food insecurity rate, about 326,000 people. So they're equivalent. The spread of need is pretty equivalent. Now, what's challenging about this spread, though, is that in urban areas, it's much more effective to be able to reach people, right? The population's a little denser, you have a lot more services, you're able to get to people in a quicker, easier way, and it's cheaper, right? You don't have to drive your truck out too far. In these small rural areas and small cities and towns, it's a lot more expensive, and folks are a lot harder to reach because the population density, as you all know, is not as high. So while there might be just a few more people in the big cities, it's harder to reach folks in rural areas, which means that our work here in your community is so much more important. Next slide, please. Okay, so just to talk a little bit about the kinds of people that we serve. 94% had non-temporary housing. I think the feeling from before 2008 was that people who were coming through were homeless. That is not true, right? People have housing. People coming through our doors have homes. About 40% with households with post-high school education, so by and large have some education. They are not folks who just got kicked out of the system, right? They've gone through the system, done things right, and are just trying to make ends meet. Next. They're largely employed. About 60% of people have had employment at some point during the year. It's just that the employment may not pay them enough, or they cycle in and out of jobs. And the people we serve live in poverty. About 62% live at or below 100% of the federal poverty line, which for a family of three is about $20,000, $100 a year. It's not a lot of money for a family of three. 62% of the people we serve live at or below 100% of the federal poverty line. So
So the people we serve are adults. I don't know how many of you have seen this report, the Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed report that was done out of the United Way of Wisconsin. Feeding Wisconsin was on the Research Advisory Committee, which is why I'm talking about it. I'm kidding. I mean, we were. I would have talked about it anyways. But the study really aimed to understand what the basic cost of living is for someone living in Wisconsin. Like what you have to earn in order to just purchase the minimum things to be able to just participate in society. And what they found is, next slide please, that the adult threshold budget is about $23,196 for a single adult in Wisconsin. So this takes into the areas where they measure, right? So average costs of housing, childcare, food, transportation, healthcare, and other stuff, right? Entertainment, other things, clothing, things like that. Taxes, made a monthly total and figured out what the annual total was and the average wage you had to make in order to make that total. That was the Alice threshold budget, or what they like to call the survival budget. For a family of four, it's $54,804. So, when you look at the hourly wage, right, for a single adult, $11.60 is what you need to make in order to just basically afford the basic necessities of life. It's not a lot of money. The minimum wage is what, $8, $9? You're not, if you are working a minimum wage job, you're not making enough money as a single adult to be able to just afford these things, right? And I think you could make an argument that, you know, but I think that's not the point, right? The point is that you can make some cuts to these different budget lines, but you're still working on a razor thin margin. Next slide, please. And so what they found when they did the local, when they figured out the income status of everybody living in Wisconsin based on census data, that about 42% of Wisconsin residents are basically adults, right? They're struggling to make ends meet, or they're having, they're within that income bracket where they would qualify as being asset limited, income constrained, and employed. 29% are folks living above the poverty line, and then you have the 13% of folks who are actually living at that 100% of poverty or below. So as we hold on this slide for a second, can we go back? A bit of a personal story about what this looks like, right? So my father-in-law is a dairy farm in central Wisconsin. They live about an hour and a half east of here in the Athens atmosphere area. My wife grew up on that dairy farm. He never made, they had 6 kids, never made in his lifetime more than $30,000 a year. So that's a picture of what rural poverty looks like. Actually, you're a farmer in Wisconsin. You're a farmer, you make somewhere in that neighborhood. If you're working on a small family farm, you're scripting, saving, make ends meet. And my parents-in-law, my in-laws were unbelievably frugal, and they were able to send their kids to college and grad school and do the things that now she's able to do. And she's a psychologist in Milwaukee. They did all of those things because they thought it was, because that was sort of what was in nature. They had a lot of family support, right? Like everybody in the local community were their family. They had family around. They never knew they were poor, but they were poor. My wife grew up wearing hand-me-downs she can't even count, right? How many generations he came down. So that's a picture of what rural poverty looks like in Wisconsin. Now, when you look at what urban poverty looks like in Wisconsin, she is likely a certified nursing assistant in Milwaukee, probably doesn't make more than $30,000 a year. She's probably African American. When you look at the economic statuses of these two demographics, they're the same. Right? They're exactly the same. My father-in-law never made more than $30,000, $40,000 a year.
certified nursing assistant in Milwaukee probably isn't going to make more than $30,000, $40,000 a year. But they're separated by how we feel about each other, right? If we could actually build connections and build power on our economic interests and not on the sort of urban-rural divide, black-white divide, I think we could actually start making some real progress against public policies that would advance our ability to address these issues in a real way. Because the economic interests are the same, right? When you're low income, it affects you in ways that race doesn't really, or where you choose to live doesn't really have to do with, right? So that's just a personal story about what that looks like here in Wisconsin. Next slide, please. So this is an interesting bit. This is an interesting chart. This chart's the unemployment rate, the poverty rate, and food stamp utilization in Wisconsin going back to 2008. And as you know, in 2008, the Great Recession happened, right? So a ton of people lost their jobs. What you see is that in 2008, we were at about 4.1, 4.2% unemployment, about 10% poverty rate, and about a 15% utilization of food stamps. That's percentage of population, of Wisconsin population. Now clearly, as the effects of the Great Recession happened, the unemployment rate went up, right? People lost their jobs, and that is normal, right? Poverty rate, as you see, sort of goes up, food stamp utilization goes up. That all makes a lot of sense. Now, starting in 2010, the unemployment rate starts to go down. And yet the food stamp utilization rate and the poverty rate still stay stubbornly high. And in 2012 and 2013, when the unemployment rate really starts to fall, the food stamp utilization rate and the poverty rate still stay high. Why is that? Food stamp utilization is near 18% still. Unemployment rate in our state is about 4.3%, 4.4%. The Labor Department would suggest that a 4.4% unemployment rate is unbelievably good, right? You are at full employment. Everybody who can work is working. And yet, our poverty rate is at 12%. Something's weird, right? What has happened is that the jobs that are coming back aren't the same jobs. People aren't working good family-supporting jobs anymore. They are working service jobs. They are making less money. They are doing the best they can with fewer and fewer resources. This is kind of a challenge, right? And yet, the public policies that we are aiming to put into place, which would limit people's ability to access things like food share, and force and impose arbitrary time limits on food share and those sorts of things, seem to not take into account the fact that we're at a 4% unemployment rate. So what's weird, too, the other thing that's weird is that many people who, is that the official unemployment rate only measures a very specific thing, right? How many people who are actually looking for jobs. The underemployment rate is unbelievably high, right? It's around 8%, 9%. So these are folks who are either working a part-time job, who want a full-time job, or folks who are just disconnected from the labor force. That's not in the official unemployment rate, which also, I think, suggests a reason as to why our food stamp utilization is so much higher and why our poverty rate is still high. I heard a pretty scary statistic on my drive up here on NPR, which said that something like near a third of millennial men are unemployed. That's terrifying, right? Right after the Great Recession, as jobs were beginning to come back, the percentage of of men who have been dislocated from the workforce, who just sort of opted out, is higher than ever before. And I have a focus on, the research studies focus on men, partially because this is going to sound really bad, and I'm painting with a broad brush, but when